Hi, and welcome to our podcast episode 2. Every finance function, whether it is a brand new startup or an established SME, faces the same early hurdle building the planning template. What are the right line items? What assumptions hold up? What scenarios actually matter? In this episode, we sit down to unpack the financial planning and analysis workflow from the founding stages of a business through to a major lending and forecasting decisions. We explore how the drivers that mattered 6 months ago might already be outdated, why building a library of templates can save enormous time, and how AI is starting to ease the back and forth between finance and non finance teams.
Let's double click on finance workflow where AI can reduce effort today from the original manual process to improve process. Maybe perhaps you can help us examine a few examples of that.
Yeah, let me dwell on the financial planning and analysis function in finance. And, let's take a startup that is just uh, given birth to an idea. If you're even having an accountant or a CFO as a co founder, one of the biggest challenges is how to create the template. What are the lines? What are the rows? What are the things that we can assume? What are the drivers? And what are the scenarios we can build up? What if kind of scenarios? If you talk of little mature SME businesses, the challenge would be to connect what has already happened. Should we ignore that? Um, what are the new elements that or which are driving our business now in the future because of the changing landscape, right? Take an example of a lending business. If I'm now lending to small, medium enterprises, what are the factors that were important before are no longer going to be important? Take an example of uh, a set of small, medium enterprise businesses who are selling telecom related talk time, right? And the thing is that should I give a loan of particular size? Should I approve or reject on the same factors that were relevant 6 months ago? Should I kind of do some risk modeling on saying what would be the non-performing loans? Um, and if I'm thinking about really increasing the loan size, should it be for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months? And what will make the small business come back to me, repay the loan, and then again come back for another loan, right? Now, this whole process of creating the template itself is a massive time consuming exercise. And this is not just in the small, medium businesses, but also in large corporations. So the key thing is that how do you have a library of templates from where you can get inspiration and start building on them? So it reduces your time. The second is once you have that, then you would have all these inputs coming from sales, marketing, and operation procurement teams, for example. Now, they could be verbal, they could be on email, or some of the sales teams could say, we can build budgets for you and forecast files for you. But at the end of the day, a finance person has to combine and compile and consolidate. Now, is a finance person, once he sees the consolidated view, does he challenge the assumptions? Does he talk about saying, um, can we not also look at the collectibility of the revenues? Are we looking at changing the pricing? What are the different agreements that we're going to sign in the next 3 or 6 or 9 months? And this is where I think there are components where you can reduce your work, your manual work. You can reduce those back and forth queries that are coming from that happen between finance and non-finance functions. You can at the same time ensure that you're reducing the time to reconcile when you're starting that forecast template, what you're taking from your past performance. And at the same time, you're also trying to say that, can I build a basic scenario without spending too much time going back and forth with non-finance function? So that's where I think AI and automation can really be very helpful. Where I think I'm going as well is that the complete workflow in this is super essential, because you would need to connect with your accounts receivable. What is the amount outstanding? Are you seeing a trend of customers not paying you on time? Are you seeing a trend of vendors asking you to pay earlier? Um, and likewise, you're connecting then the inputs from the business side, right? What I think AI as of now, of course, my answers can change 6 months or 9 months down the line based on the changes we are seeing. But I think the handoff that happens between the inputs from accounts receivable and accounts payable to the treasury side, as to, for example, okay, this is the amount that will remain idle. Um, what do we need to do and how to invest? And then the handoff to what are the business drivers from business and the various approvals and the exceptions that happen, right? I think that is something that still will remain outside the scope of AI and will continue to be the prerogative of human finance team members.
So, where does that leave us? AI is already saving time on the mechanical side of FP&A, building templates, consolidating inputs, and cutting down back and forth between teams. But the judgment calls, pricing risk, challenging assumptions, deciding where to invest still belong to finance professionals. AI isn't replacing the finance function. It is clearing the runway so finance team can spend less time compiling and more time deciding.